Hey everybody, welcome to the Hobby Streakers episode 22. We are the Hobby Streakers, Liam, myself,
Hello.
JG. Hobby Streakers because we do Hobby Streak, which is doing 30 minutes of hobby every day.
Absolutely naked.
For the longest streak possible. Today, Liam is on... I have no idea because I don't have my thing. 1,600...
622?
Wow, cool. Why I lost completely my thing. And I'm on 454? Yes, 54. So, yes, Liam on more than 4 years of hobby streak. If you go on any platform, he's probably the one that's got the longest streak. Hail to the king. Alright, well, so...
I need to get myself a crown for the podcast.
Yeah. How's everything going? Your side of the pound. Okay.
We don't like to talk about it.
Well, so we had Easter.
This is a hobby podcast.
Yeah.
And not a state of the world podcast.
Oh yeah, so, no, we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, it's the weather here is
frightful. The fire is so delightful.
Somebody's playing with the thermostat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like -4 during the night, 19 during the day, then
nice.
-12 during the night, 4 during the day. Then the next day is 15 during the day, -8, and then it's like, can you stop playing with the thermostat?
It's go outside without a coat on weather most of the time over here at the moment. Apart from today, where for about an hour and a half it just rained randomly in the middle of the day. That was fun.
Yeah, now here it's like you go out in the morning with a sweater and sometimes even a jacket and a hat. And then you get to about midday and you are in t-shirts. By the time the sun goes down, you're back to putting your coat and your woolly hat on. Yeah. So it's just been weird. The kid's been sick because of that, because then, you just get sick very easily because of that scrap. And it's the season. It's the usual. Hopefully he'll get better. Well, it's supposed to snow again next weekend. It snowed a little bit this weekend. So we could not put the eggs in the yard for the kids because the yard was covered in snow. So yeah. Yeah, Easter, by the way. People listening. That's why we put eggs in the yard. We don't do that every weekend. Just
I mean, you might.
It would be fun. I think the kids would like it. After a while, I think they might get tired of freaking hunting for eggs, but I don't know. I think it'll take a while. Anyways, what are you painting today, Mister? Because you didn't put it in your little.
No, I didn't. I did a lot. I was very good and did a lot of my prep for the show.
Yes, I saw.
Last night.
That's great.
And I didn't know what I was going to be painting today. So I didn't know how far I'd be getting with stuff. So I am today going to be seeing what I can do with the remaining 3 Tempestors that I'm currently painting up. Which is these guys.
Sounds like a
Dragon Cav.
Sounds like a male version of a Karen. Because they're always
Tempestor.
They're always pissed off, so they're Tempestor! Always pissed off! But anyways, sorry.
Dragon Cavalry with crossbows.
Cool.
So.
The big giant crossbow, like the handheld small crossbow?
About that big.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Big is relative.
Yeah, when you see the orcs that have like freaking ballistas
Yep.
as their crossbows. Yeah. Yeah, alright.
And yourself?
I am painting more silver bayonet monsters, which I actually did not prep today, but yesterday. Yay! It was like, let's not do that again. Last minute being like, what am I gonna paint? So I actually prepped them yesterday, which was removing the freaking pudding base, which... This is why I love 3D printing. There is no pudding base. Anyways, so
Man
remove the
does
pudding
not
bases.
like his metal models.
I actually starting to really like metal models. I just freaking hate pudding bases. God,
Are you starting to like metal models, or is this Stockholm syndrome?
No, I like the weight of them actually. Like it, I really do. But no, it's I don't know if it's just because like I painted a few now and I think that they take and it's might be because I'm airbrushing, but they take paint pretty well. I like the oomph of them, like the weight and everything. So yeah, no, it's I'm starting. And again, like the silver bayonet, he's done a pretty good job. And I again, like I saw a comment last time I did. It was the unboxing of Wave 2. I think I got a comment on someone that was like, "Oh yeah, like they couldn't get a better sculptor and blah blah blah." And I'm like, seriously, dude? They're single piece metal models. Like you can not get much better than that with a single piece metal model. Like those are the top of the line as far as those are concerned. Yes, you will get something like Infinity, where you have a lot more details. I mean, yeah, you know, like those guys on like the Infinity models have a lot of tiny details, but they are multi-part.
Not everybody can be the Perry twins, so let's get over it.
Yeah, and I think that Corvus Belly, they're freaking mastered their casting as far as metal models are concerned. They really nailed it down. So again, I'm like, yeah, if you compare to that, then yes, they're a little bit. I wouldn't say they're a little bit behind, but it's not the same level. But those are single piece, and for that, I'm like, yeah, to just enjoy it, because it's, you know, that's pretty much the best you can get as far as that is concerned. And yeah, so and I'm liking those. They're you know, easy to paint, and there's not a lot of pressure to paint those like super high quality or anything. They're literally, you know, they'll take paint really well. I'm doing mostly contrast, and it's working really well, and so that's what I'm doing right now. So I have 2 vampires and I have 2 living scarecrow, and so I don't know how much I'm gonna paint today, but I am trying to paint those. I love the living scarecrow. They're pretty good. Like one has a pumpkin as a head. That's pretty cool. And the other one's got the burlap bag with just the straw sticking out as hairs and as hair. That is just like really, yeah, they're fun. They're fun little sculpts. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm painting. So shout out. You have quite a few. I have a whole freaking list. Like a lot of people.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks for shouting people out. Yep. So let's get started. I've got 7 that I found on the old Instagrams, and you've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20-ish.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah, it's been crazy. When I saw, I was like, holy moly! It's like, hey, buddy, congrats!
I helped you out. I added one on the bottom of yours that you missed from Twitter.
Seriously, I missed one.
Yep.
Well, and I missed
big one as well.
Well, I wanted to do a shout out, but it's not. There's no. Did you put Square Wave on there?
Nope.
No? Okay. Because I wanted to shout out, but...
Cool. So I'm going to go...
Just as a welcome back to the hobby streak. But yeah, go for it.
Shaggy Cat Daddy. 100 days. Keith, I'm going to go with that. 300. Wizard Van Dyke on 200. Bran, I think, hits 600 days. JDV Paints on 500. Kester Plays on 100. And Op4 Tac Minis on 800 days. Got some good numbers on there. So,
Alright.
good job.
Well,
gang.
Good job on those. Let me look at my list. Because now I don't memorize them. So, Erik Katz, 200 days. AndyPaintsMinis, AndyMinis, 100 days. Skippy, 668. Emperor NPP, 100 days. Emma, at Alstofoborger, 600 days. Zach Roche, 1,600 days. It's right on your tail, man. Then
Give or take a couple of hundred.
Yeah, well, no, he's on 1,600, dude. He's 22 days behind you. Like, he's not that much. Ben, Speedy, 13, 500 days. Fellow moleman appreciator, SMR, 600 days. Carl is painting all the minis. Muse Touch, 100 days. Random Dude, 13. Random Hobby Dude, 13. 100 days. Air Norse One, Scragging, 100 days. The Cat, 09 Tails, 100 days. MinniePaintStop, sorry. Also at MinniePaint, 100 days. Rubber Stud, Kanake, 100 days. NewGame Plus, 100 days. Far as Mini guys, 100 days. I guess there are more than one. Chris Jacobs, Surgeon Benton, 100 days. Good Apollo, Parker's Pens, 100 days. Graham Bennett, 1,200 days. Oh, that's the one I missed? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did I miss that? And like I was saying, Square Wave, they've been gone for the hobby for a little bit, because new job and stuff, and life. Just life kicking your butt. So, they're back. They've helped me a lot on my 3D printing. Always had some really awesome 3D printing. So, welcome back. Glad to have you back. And I hope that things are gonna get a little bit better. Because work apparently was a bit of a pain. But yeah, it's... yeah. Life has a tendency to kick you in when you're done. But anyways, so yeah, that's our shout out. So yeah,
well done, boys and girls.
Good job, everybody. Welcome
and
back.
Everybody in between.
For everybody who's on their like first day or something similar, welcome back. If it's your if it's a first day from before, if you're new to the hobby, again, hello, welcome, welcome to the club, and yeah, have fun.
We're all nerds in here.
Have fun. What have you done the past 2 weeks of your hobby streak? Monsieur Liam, not much?
Not a lot. So I finished the Errant Quester that I started last week. Last episode,
yeah.
He's all done.
Cool.
I was intending to put him in a paint competition at my local game store, and then I overslept.
Did they accept it when you came in late, or they said
no? I didn't bother going.
It's
by the time I got out of bed
next one.
and had a shower, I was like, well, I've got 15 minutes to make a 25-minute journey, then park, then get to the store. So that ain't happening.
Are you gonna submitting next time?
I've got a couple of models that I can put in next time. So
cool. Well,
I've done a ton of work on the Tempestals that I've currently got in front of me. I finished 1 out of the 4. I got to a point where I was like, because I tend to batch paint.
Yes. Well, you intend to paint stuff for big armies and stuff, so
exactly.
You have to.
I got to the point where I was like, well, I can't be bothered batch painting. Can't be bothered batch painting, so I'll just focus down on this one and get it done. So I got it done, and now I'm back to batch painting the last 3. So, yeah.
Cool.
And also somewhere in the middle of that, I had a day where I really couldn't be bothered painting. So I built me 4 new Vindictors, because I've got a box of those sitting around. So I was like, well, I need to do something.
Yeah.
So I sat and mindlessly mold line scraped, and built some push fit stuff.
Cool.
That was it.
Well, that was it.
I've worked. Not a lot, but still something, and that's the important bit.
Well, yeah, and it's again sometimes it can seem to not be a lot because you paint one model and you spend time on it, and you only do one model. Sometimes you batch paint and you do 20 models, and you still don't feel like you've done much because you've just batch painting the whole thing.
Yeah, so, if you're batch painting like a 10-man unit or something, it might take you like an hour and a half to do one thing. Yeah. So that doesn't look like a lot, but it is, because you've done it. You've done one small thing 10 times.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I spent a lot of time on my board. And if you've seen the picture online, it's looking good. I am pretty happy with it. Went back and forth on a few things, because, I guess we could put that as something I've tried, because I've never done... This is the first board I make. So, yeah, it's been fun. I actually had to coffee grind my flock because it was way too big, so I coffee grounded it into smaller. So I spent a half an hour just taking the one. So it already went once through the coffee grinder, which I bought as a thrift store because I don't want to use my coffee grinder or buy a new one just to do that. Yeah. So I went to the thrift store and be like, okay, let me see if I can find a coffee grinder for $2. And I think it was like $4 or something like that, which is still super cheap. And I already went through the flock that I made myself through that, but it was still super big. So I finally decided to just sit down and go through that again. And that was half an hour spent just going, let me empty the cup. Let me put more in the cup. Let me empty the cup. Let me put more in the cup. It's like, come on. At the end, I was getting a little sick of it. But I'm happy the flock is good. And then I mix it with some of my actual store-bought flock to try to get a mix. The one that I have is a bit bright, so at the end I ended up also spray painting brown from like high up to try to darken the whole thing. I made paths with my mix of sand and tag route and all this. So yeah, it's and then the next step is gonna be those guys. Casting epoxy. So I did a board where it was I cannot find the words today. Yoda lifting the X-Wing out of the swamp, and so I used that, most of it, for doing the swamp water, and that worked really well, so I'm really happy. And I'm gonna use it to do my river. Now I don't have enough to do the river, I'm pretty sure, so I'm gonna get some more, and once I have, then I'll do it. I'll finally do that, and that's gonna be the last step of it. I'm pretty sure after that I'll be done. I don't really think it's gonna need more than that, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about my first board. Yay! So did that, finished some of the guys that I did last time, the Revenant. They're looking okay. I'm pretty happy with their skin tone, actually. So I used the same thing that I'm using now, which is the Hellfish skin, and then I put camo shade on it, the wash, Atonian camo shade.
Yeah.
And it turned them a little bit greenish, and they look awesome. I was like, yep, done. That's the skin, and it turned out like really great. Like I was like, maybe I should try that, because I was gonna highlight and do all that kind of stuff. I'm like, let me just try to just wash the whole thing and see how that goes. And actually turned out really great. So super happy about that.
I mean, that's kind of similar to what I did on my vampire.
Yeah. Well, my vampires, I started with the elfish skin tone, which is kind of whitish, but I'm not gonna do the green on top after that, because I don't want them to look I want them to look more white than decomposing. So I don't know what I'm gonna do after that, but yeah.
I don't think she looks like she's decomposing, but she definitely does not look healthy. There's the...
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then I'm printing some terrains and stuff, but yeah. Focus.
Yeah. It's not going to focus.
Yeah. And then I printed some terrain, which I'm still doing for my game. And I started writing a second game. Because I was tired as hell. And I went to take a nap, and then when I woke up from my nap, I had an idea, and I started writing. So yeah,
I might get around to reading the stuff you sent me for the first game at some point.
Yeah. Well. And the second game is completely different. It is 1 versus 1, and completely different setting and more fantasy, but still like kind of contemporary fantasy type of thing, weird looking thing. Yeah, anyways, so yeah, having fun writing that, completely different. So yeah, it's I like when it's like this, when it's really something different. And so yeah, pretty much that's it. That was my week. Well, my 2 weeks. Well, and then every time I have like the podcast part of it, like a couple of days where I spend doing the podcast. Anyways, right, so did you try anything new? At all? Nope. Alright, well, like I said, apart from like what I'm doing with the board, I have not really also tried anything really new. But anyways, so ran a little poll because there's been a couple of conventions lately, which have been a lot of YouTubers and things have been going to conventions and stuff. And so I was wondering, like, is there a lot of people that do conventions? And especially, I think that convention have tanked after, well, during COVID especially. That was really bad, so I think like most of them were just gone by then. or very limited and restricted and blah blah blah. But then after that, I was like, yeah, but do people actually like to go to conventions? Do they actually want to go to convention? Or they now they don't want to go anymore because of COVID? And I don't know. So it was like, yeah, let me see what our small community thinks about that. And so I asked, yeah, if convention, like, don't care for it. Used to be, used to go before COVID, and the last one was glad they're starting back again. So that's kind of where we're at. Most people don't really care for them. So I was surprised because I was expecting a lot more people to say, "Oh no, yeah, I used to." I was like, I used to go before COVID. I used to like them and everything, but and now it's so yeah, I was surprised. I know you do a lot of organized play and things like this, which I think are very different than conventions. So,
Yeah,
what do you think?
In terms of conventions, like we don't do the same kind of conventions over here that
The US do, yeah.
over in the States. So a lot of the conventions over in the States have like massive
Yes,
like a massive hotel out and
yeah.
take
The
over.
last one was what, Adepticon, I think. Adepticon was the last one. The next one is gonna be what? There was a Gamma Expo, which was like more more retailer oriented, and LVO and all that stuff. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
So we've got like the UK Games Expo and Salute and Hammerhead and Robin and Partisan and stuff are like our ones, but they're like trade shows
Yeah.
more than they are like
Actual conventions. Yeah.
the actual conventions like Adepticon. So a lot of these don't have
And
like
the next
kind
one,
of
the
the
next
big
one is there's Adepticon, and the other one is shit. I never.
Gen Con.
Gen Con. Thank you.
Gen Con happening this year?
Do not know. I believe so. It looks like it's. Yeah, it looks like it was back on track, but again.
So the big conventions over there tend to have like big organized play events at them.
Yep. On top of and then sometimes also competition.
Yeah.
Painting competitions.
Yeah.
Which.
So also, we've Salute's got a painting competition, and I mean Warhammer Fest as Golden Demon.
Not anymore. Isn't the Golden Demon now in? That's the thing. It was in Adepticon.
Yeah, that was Golden Demon in America.
Okay, that's not the same. I thought they like moved it or something. So I was like, Golden Demon.
There will always be a Golden Demon at whatever event Games Workshop run in the UK.
Cool.
Well, but we haven't had a Warhammer Fest for 3 years. So
yeah,
the next time, well,
Well, that's the thing. It's been
Armies
a while
on Parade
since,
online.
It's been a while since Adepticon also ran.
Yeah,
I don't think it ran last year. Like they've done some virtual stuff too, but it's really not the same. But so I was wondering, and like I said, I think a lot of people. I've never been to I've been to not convention, but to salon. Like I went to Le Bourget air show, and that as a participant, not as a. Well, I went a couple of times as a visitor, but I participated, and it's like that's pretty much the only show that I've ever, like, the only big convention that I've ever been to. And so I'm like, I'm tempted to go to one, And I think something like Adepticon or Gen Con would be. I think it would be a pretty cool experience altogether.
Mm.
But I am not gonna change my plans to, like. I don't think I would like be like, okay, let me plan for next year and do all this and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, not really my jam. But again, like, we'll see. Maybe one day. If I'm closer or something, but yeah, so far I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
no.
the other thing as well is like all the big ones in the States tend to be at the edges, I think, rather than in the middle.
Well, Adepticon is in Las Vegas, right? No, Gamma was in Las Vegas.
All right.
And that's not too far from here. And then, I mean, you get an airplane, you can get on an airplane, you can get across the map pretty quickly. I wouldn't drive there. I know there were some in like Dallas and the surrounding where when I was there, I was like, I might try to go, and then I moved back here, so I was like, oh, nope. But yeah. I don't know. Like I said,
the thing with that is, I've met you. I know what you're like. You'll end up buying a load of stuff and having to pay through those for extra storage for flying your new toys back.
Yeah, no.
You can't have all of that as hand luggage, mate.
I probably would not have the right to go there with my card at all. My wife will probably be like, "Hey, here's $200 in cash. Once you're done with that, you're done." And
this is for food.
Well, no. But yeah, no, it's. Well, yeah, I guess there would be a few things that I would buy, but again, I'm like, I'm not even so sure about that because it's. Shit, am I using the wrong one? Oh, fuck, I'm using the wrong color. Ah, god damn it. There we go. You go. So yeah, I'd like to go and do one once and see how it is and everything and look at it, see how fun it could be, but it's not something that I would get out of my way to plan and all this. Like, I would plan and do all this to go to Formula One Grand Prix in the US, in Coda. I'll definitely do that, but that convention, I'm like, not, I don't think it's really my things, but again, people love it. And
yeah,
some
I mean,
people
my club normally has like when Salute's on, we all go down as a group, split off.
Yeah, it could be fun, yeah.
No, we know what we're picking up for the club, and we know what we're after thereabouts as individuals. Then we go scouting.
Yeah.
Look at stuff. Meet up at the Chinese over the road, have dinner.
Yeah.
Go back in. Pick up end of day bargains. Job's a good one.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm surprised not a lot more people actually go through the trash after conventions like this. Because a lot of things people like the companies, it'll cost them more to bring it back than the price of the things.
Yeah.
So they don't even fucking bother.
See, the thing over here is that they're all hiring transit vans to drive it all down anyway, so they're gonna have to drive it all back.
Well, no, yeah, but like in the US, like they were talking about basically they're like, oh yeah, take it, it's like by the end of the day we'll throw it away anyway. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, no. So that would be the good place to go after, the next day, just be like, at the end of the day, just wait for the trash to come out and be like, thank you. But yeah. So, speaking of moving and stuff, actually, I might actually take some vacation for once this year. Yes, I know. I was surprised too. I was like, what the hell? So yeah, we're looking at going to Florida. We used to live there and blah 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 and all this and so yeah, way back, I think, well, towards the beginning of when we did the podcast, I was talking about Corvus Terrain, and I've talked about him quite a while since, but he had a Kickstarter for PaintPal, and PaintPal was basically you 3D print compartments that you can stack together to do a on the road.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, so you take on the road basically what you need to paint, and so I looked into it. At first I wanted to do one with like paint and stuff, and then I realized that the paints I cannot take them with me anyway, because TSA blah blah blah, liquid less than 2 ounces and which is all BS right now, but anyways. So my paints probably will go into Tupperware that will super locked, you know, like those that have the clips on the side. And inside, well, the paint inside Ziploc bag, inside that container inside a giant Ziploc bag. Probably that's how it's gonna be, just to make sure that yeah, there's no issues with it. So that's kind of, yeah, that's, I'm pretty sure the paints are gonna go like this. So then I was like, well, so I don't need to do the paint container, which is super high, but what I want to do is I'm probably gonna do a container that's still gonna be super high, where I can put a few minis in there. So I'm gonna have to find out what I want to take to paint. So that's gonna be the first thing, and then on top of that I'll put wet palette. On top of that, brush compartment, and that should be it. And that's all I'm gonna need. Like, I don't think I'll put any other. The compartment I found is the one that has the dividers that like you can slide in. So I think that's gonna work, because I can put some models on one side with some like bubble wrap and stuff, and then some on the other side, some other stuff. Yeah, and then whatever is gonna be like X-Acto knife and all that crap, all that is gonna go into, if the models are prepped, I won't need those, so I don't even need to take any of that. If I take some models that are not prepped and not assembled, then that's gonna go in my luggage anyway, because you cannot, again, carry that with you. So
please,
yeah,
Mr. TSA person, please let me take this knife and these clippers on board this plane.
Yeah, well, yeah. Which again, like, you really think you're like?
Why are you putting those gloves on?
Let me try to take over a plane with a pair of snippers. Yeah, that's gonna work. I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. Anyways, it's just there's some stuff that are excessive for people, and I remember like they were like, oh, you cannot take a you know, like a nail clipper with you, and I was like, okay, fine. And then in the plane they gave you cutlery, metal, and I was like, what? And that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You know, it's like you get to the thing, and then they hand you over your dinner, and in there's a freaking knife that's metal. Now it's not, but at the time I was like, yeah, you might want to not put those in. And you're making a fuss about my little freaking nail clipper, and you're giving me an actual knife? Yeah, okay, sure, yeah. That makes total sense. Anyways. So, yeah, so I need to start printing that anyway. So, that's gonna be, yeah. I've already made the G-code file for the printer. All I need is to get it to the printer and launch the printer, which 2 weeks ago I actually cleaned and changed the nozzle and all this, so should be ready to go pretty easily, and yeah, start printing those, and that's gonna be my 3D printing. Oh, and I also got I got a protector for my screen for my resin printer, and I was really happy about that, because the one that I had on it was before that company made them specifically for resin printer. You could use iPad covers, basically iPad screen protectors, and cut it to the dimension that you wanted and everything, and it was a pain. Like this one is just like, just grab and put it on and that's it, and it's made for, and it's so much better. So really happy about that as well. And I need to print a few things also, so yeah, on my resin printer, so that's gonna be nice. That's about it for my 3D printing lately. Yeah. Well, tell us about your news. Or do you want me to start?
Ooh, I can start if you give me 2 seconds to just finish painting this floor.
Well, so let me go first then.
Okay.
Let me keep chatting. So I just saw that today, Asmodee, which, well, if you don't know Asmodee, you've been living under a rock, because there are.
You might not know Asmodee, but you might know the companies that they own.
Yeah. So Asmodee owns
a lot.
Well, yeah, but they own. Well, they have a lot of board games, and they also have FFG and Atomic Mass Game, and who they got recently also. Well, anyway, so they have a bunch of companies that they run, and especially they've been mostly doing, well, pretty big in board games against Hasbro, pretty much. And they have some of the well-known title, like Settler of Catan, like Dixit, like Pandemic, like all those games. And so they decided to create a new label inside their company, basically saying, and it's called UNBOX NOW. And basically it's just the must-have. It's like the must-have of the board games. And right now there is a few titles that they have that they've put under that label, which are all the, well, most of the one that I just said. So you have, if it wants to load, here we go. Discover our games. Yeah. So Catan, Ticket to Ride, Seven Wonders, Splendor, Pandemic, Carcassonne, Dixit. I don't know. Oh, Unlock? I don't know that one. And Azul. So I know all of them except Unlock. Huh, that's funny. But yeah, so those are like the big board games. But I thought it was pretty cool that they, they decide to be like, hey, you want to start board gaming? This is where you start. Grab those and you pretty much have what you need. So yeah, I thought that was pretty
These are the
cool.
classics. Start here.
Yeah, exactly. Like those, and those are definitely the classics. I have some of them. I got Ticket to Ride. I have Pandemic. I have Dixit. I would like, and it's in my list to buy Carcassonne and Catan. Seven Wonders, don't know. Splendor, don't know if the kids will like it. And Azul is the 2-player game, so it's not really something that we're looking for because we need games that are 4 to 5 players when we have someone visiting or coming in, or so yeah. And so I was really surprised about that, and I thought it was pretty cool stuff. So board games again, if you like it, go there, find it, and I'm hoping that they'll start making those bigger print volumes so that the price will start going down too. which they can do because they know those will sell anyway. So yeah, and again, like if they, even if they, you know, reduce the quality of the game or make the box smaller or whatever, I don't like it. As long as the same game is inside, who really gives a shit? Like, really? See, if it's like, oh, instead of paying $50 for a game, you're gonna pay, you know, like 40. Well, yeah, the box is a little smaller, and this and this and this, but the rest of the game is exactly the same. I'm like, I'll go for cheaper. Everybody would. So yeah, we'll see. Now, they started something new, and then I saw that Mantic, well, they're gonna discontinue The Walking Dead. So Mantic Games, they are still producing the game The Walking Dead. And I don't know if it's because the TV show also is coming to an end, I think. From what I know, I believe it is coming to an end. So, yeah, I don't know if that's why, but those are... I don't know if people are gonna rush to get those, but... I mean, there's some cool minis if you like the TV show. Never could get to it, so... But I was looking for modern miniature that looks like Survivors without being too post-apocalyptic looking, like you can have for some of the games. So yeah, so that's kind of like when I saw those, and I'm like, oh, well, that sucks, because those are, I think a lot of people use them for games like Last Days from Ash. Also for This Is Just a Test and game like this. So yeah, you can Zona Alpha probably not, but you mean you could use them for quite a lot of similar post-apocalyptic games. So yeah, it's I hope they'll still have quite a big stock, and because yeah, I think that a lot of people would like to pick those up for other games. So yeah, bad to see a game not supported anymore. And again, I didn't read the full thing. They were saying, oh, don't worry about blah blah blah. So I'm guessing they might still continue to produce the minis or stuff like that, but they won't just come up with new things, which could be also a way to go. Kind of you know, print, well, not print by order, but how is it, how do GW call it?
Made to order.
Made to order, thank you. So I don't know if they'll do something like that. I mean, they still have the mold.
Print on demand. Print on demand is like the
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
RPG
what I was. Yeah, that's what I had in. I think that's what I had in mind. That's why. But yes, we'll see. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they'll keep supporting at least, you know, like the minis and stuff, and have something that people can go and use and stuff. But yeah, now.
So they've got
Yep.
another 3 months to pick up whatever you want to round out their collections.
And then
skim reading. You can get getting started products are 50% off.
cool.
The rest of the range is 25% off using code TWD2022. All Mantic Walking Dead lines will be removed from the Mantic web store on the 31st of March 2022.
Oh. Yeah, so
which was last month.
Shit. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah.
As we all know, a game never really dies; it stops getting new releases.
Yeah, and I mean, like the community
sure, there still
behind
remain committed, die-hard fans who will continue to write new scenarios, build tables, organise tournaments for a good few years yet to come.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Like, you know, there's
there you go.
There's games that are 20 years old that are still being played, so you'll still have, and especially, I mean, like, if you're a diehard fan of the show, and you follow the, I don't know, 30 something season of the show. Probably not, but pretty close, I'm guessing. It's been pretty crazy. Then I'm pretty sure that you like the show, you like the board game. Yeah, you're gonna continue playing. Doesn't matter if there is nothing new. And again, you can get, buy a freaking Zombicide Kickstarter, and you have like 300 new freaking people that you can use, because there's so many of them in that you can use for the same thing. They're survivors and blah blah blah. You can use those zombies and use the rules from that game, and the rules are still the same. They'll get improved, they'll get revisions from the community, I'm pretty sure. So all in all, yeah, it's like, yeah, it sucks to see it go, and I'm sure for people who play it, and that it's not going to be fully supported anymore. But again, like, the community is there. They'll get, you're still playing Heresy, so,
Technically still supported.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while since they've got an actual release, but it's coming.
It's been like a month. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We had the two plastic
Before
characters.
that.
We've got the free rules updates. We had Jagata Khan.
Am I gonna mix this? Ooh, I don't know. Would that work? So yes, and then my latest news is, and I've talked about the game itself a little bit, and it's called Spectre Operations, and it's a modern military, and Spectre Miniature. So they do the miniatures, and then they do the game. They do the rules, and they do the miniatures, and they do metal minis and everything. And they've done, and again, because in my game, so my second game, I'm looking for survivor type people. For my first game, I'm looking for modern military, and so that's kind of one of the places I'd like to go. And I really like the new ones they came up with, which are Crisis Response Squad. And I really like the fact that they have backpacks full of, like, really big backpacks, and it looks like there's tons of.
They look like Division agents.
Yeah.
From the Division games.
Yeah. True. Yeah. I didn't think about that, but yeah, definitely, yeah. So yeah, it's and people will see. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the little pictures of it. But yeah, if you look at their latest releases, you can see that they even have one of those dog robots that you've probably seen, Spot, they're called. Except they're big and they have a freaking machine gun on top. So they look super cool, and they have.
So yeah, they've played a lot of Division recently.
And they have some bad guys that really look like, well, I don't know, weird shinobi like Spectre agent. If you try to, can you do the? Let me see if you do if you do that, does it? Here we go. Now you have the link. Yay.
Yeah, I did it a long way.
And so yeah. Oh wow, live reaction. This time not from me. Yeah, if you go to new releases, you'll see the. And I mean their range is
BGB. Criminal Element Heavies.
Yes, those look super cool too. I think I really like them.
The Hunter. He's behind your face, so I need to move him.
Yeah,
you.
The Hunter is weird looking too. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. No, I mean they make their minis and they're all metal minis. Again.
Oh, so he's gonna be. Let's.
Heavy. the guy, the hunter, yeah. I don't know how big it is, but
move. So that's gonna be 3 pieces.
Probably a few pieces, yeah. They all are a few pieces. I think. I don't know.
Go away.
That's the thing. I've never seen their minis. Like I've seen people receiving and posting their minis, but I've never seen if they're multi-parts or not. I reckon that's gonna be. But they're usually,
and then the arms are gonna be separate.
It should be, yeah. It should be if you want to keep some of the details and everything. And again, like they're the guy that makes those is military. He knows what he's talking about, and he's got he's apparently.
Yeah, I mean like the poses on the agents and the criminal element heavies.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like if you start looking at their range, like
how you hold stuff.
If you look at their range, like they have the SAS, they have, you know, like different. It's funny because they have like cartel, and the guys are holding their guns sideways. And I thought that was super funny, and I'm like, yeah, like, whoa, ¿qué pasó? You know, when they do the. So yeah, it's pretty funny, but yeah, it's again the range of stuff they have is really really good. They even have vehicles in resin. So yeah, again, all in all, love their range. I've not gotten anything, but that squad really looks super cool. So it's in pre-order right now. So I might just pull the trigger and get those, and they will work great for my game. So, and I think I can basically have that and have almost all my people that I need. So, covert, overt, there is some pretty cool stuff in there. They have some also, what's it called? Like civilians. And civilians, I think there used to be what's his name? Our president before. Come on. Ah no, so it's not civilians, it's VIP, I think. Where there used to be some stuff. They even have drones and stuff like that. So all in all, like I mean, if you're playing any modern military, you know about them and you know about Eureka Miniatures. They're pretty much the two lines that you want to do, because nobody else come even close to, you know, the quality and the level of details and everything that those guys have. So yeah, there we go. And that is my news, I believe. Yes, that's it. Cool. What do you have for us?
I've got 2 things.
Jumping rats.
Yeah, I love those. There is a new season of Warhammer Underworlds coming. It's the Nether Maze. So they've got the launch box for that, the starter set for that, which has some Knight Shadow Stalkers versus some Clan Eshin Assassins. So, yeah, this is the first new Skaven sculpts in a number of years.
And they are really cool. I really like them.
They look really cool.
Yeah, I like the one that's running on the side of the sewer.
Yeah.
That one is really cool. I really like it. So yeah. I think there's some really cool models. I saw them.
The Shadow Stalkers are basically the same as the Shadow Stalkers that came out in Underworlds. They're different models, but they're functionally.
Yeah, functionally the same. Yeah.
Functionally the same.
So you can use those in Age of Sigmar, right?
Yes, there will be rules for those particular warbands to be taken as units for Age of Sigmar,
Okay.
and at some point,
In
I'm
what?
guessing that they
In
will be
what?
updated for Warcry as well.
Okay. In what? What's their? Well, I'm not gonna say warband, but what their
Army.
army? Thank you.
So the Skaven will be in the Skaven book.
Yeah, that's that
when
one.
that
Yeah, but
when that
the weird
eventually
looking people.
comes out. So, like a lot of people have been saying for a while that
Are
they're
they elves? The other
mostly
ones?
sure that the Chaos book that has been on the roadmap to release at the end of the year will be the new Skaven book. So
Cool.
this is another nod in that direction.
Yep.
The Shadow Stalkers will be in Daughters of Cain.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Is where the warband, the Warcry warband, are in. They're in the Daughters of Cain book. Daughters of Cain have a new book due soon because they're in the battle box that came out the other week. So we're assuming that they've got a new book on the way for that, along with the Nighthorn. So
Cool. Yeah.
that's that. Those, yeah. There's some neat looking rats and some stabby looking elves.
Well, yeah, like I said, I really like the rats. I think they look really cool.
And then my last bit of news is we've got one of the second of the leader Praetor characters from the new Heresy launch box is this beaky guy waving his sword around.
Yeah.
So there's been some mixed reception.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Again, like I'm going back to aesthetics that I do not particularly fancy, but they're not bad. They're just they're just too much.
Yeah,
and
so
I keep
got the whole
and I know I repeat
going
myself. I repeat myself every time I see a 40k figure, or well, in this case 30k figure. But yeah, some of them are just it's just too much. It's just too much.
Not a fan myself personally of the bear head with the officer crest on.
Yeah, that just looks weird.
That looks strange.
Yep, it does. I have to agree on that one.
So the previous one we saw was painted up Sons of Horus. This one's painted up Imperial Fists. So the idea is you buy the box and you split stuff in half, and you've got a character for each, and you've got some troops for each, and you'll have another thing for each, like an elite unit or a heavy unit. So if I'm remembering correctly, there is a tank in the box. So that'll be cool.
Right.
So Heresy Thursdays is something that we're looking forward to when they show us the new models.
Alright. Did you see the new show that is coming on Warhammer Plus?
The Interrogator.
Yes.
What
do you think? Because I know you have Warhammer Plus.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if you've seen it and what you think.
I'm a bit behind on my Warhammer Plus.
Okay. You have not watched too much lately.
I've in fact not watched the previous show, the Exodite, yet. So
Actually watched a movie lately, which was the first time in a very, very, very long time that I actually watched a movie. And I watched The Batman. And that was really good. I was surprised.
I actually got around to watching No Way Home the other day.
No Way Home?
The new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah. My wife started watching that. I have not yet.
Top
we have it
notch.
now because she got it, but
Top notch.
yeah.
Do recommend.
I saw some of it and I was
10 out of 10.
Yeah, cool.
That's my news.
We'll definitely take a look at that. Well, cool. How's your minis going?
So they've all got the silver base.
Okay.
I did some final gold bits on the edges of the saddle that I'd forgotten. And I've started tidying up the beast itself.
Okay,
So I need to rebase like the spines and the claws so that I can put their actual colour on and not have them be turquoise, because I just a whole lot. So I think I'll spend another 5-10 minutes finishing that off when we've finished recording, so that one's actually done and I don't have to.
Is that for your same army or you're doing something else?
Yeah, this is more Stormcast.
More Stormcast. Okay. So when are you done painting Stormcast? Never? There's always more to get. Or there's a point where that's it.
I don't know, you tell me.
You still have... Well, I don't see the boxes because your camera
I'll put them away. Yeah.
Your camera is decides to disappear them in the background, but yeah, I can imagine
there's a lot.
You still have a few.
There's a lot.
100 or 200 boxes.
100
or 200 models.
Probably.
Close to
2 boxes of Storm Great Gods. The Vindictors I started. More Vindictors. Vanquishers. Annihilators. Judicators. Prosecutors. Another 2 boxes of Dracothian Guard. 3 boxes of Dracothian Guards. Well, I've got 3.
So a few.
Oh, because I already did one. Cool.
A few model. Yeah.
And then I've got all the
how
other
many
stuff
how many points are you gonna have at the end? Like 5,000? Close to 10.
In terms of Stormcast?
How many points do you have currently?
Of Stormcast?
Yes. No. I know. The rest is crazy, but you have a few armies, so you have already probably 30 or 40,000 points altogether. But
last time I checked, it was something like 1,300 points.
Of just Stormcast?
Yes.
Holy schmoly. Oh yeah, okay. So a few.
I could run
2 armies. 3. Well, 3.
Generally you pay 2,000 point games.
So even more than that. 6 armies.
Yeah, I could run a tournament against myself. The only trouble with that is that
the main characters would be
after the 3rd or 4th army, I'd run out of basic battle line.
Yeah.
And I'd have to just chuck random stuff together. Like the last time I checked, I had like 2,500 to 3,000 points just of Stormcast characters.
Jeez.
Because they've got a lot of characters. It's
it's the
frankly appalling.
It's the
they're the poster child, aren't they? They get all the love.
Yeah, they're the Space Marine of
Sure are.
Yeah, because Space Marine, I'm guessing, is the same. They have billions of characters.
Yep. There's like 78 different war scrolls in the current book, so
yeah,
that's that.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I've almost should be at the point tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna finish doing the bases and finish rebasing the details on the riders. So that's Wednesday. Thursday, wash, do all the shades on everything. And so that means Friday I can start highlighting. So Saturday they should be just about done.
Alright.
So I know what I'm doing on Sunday. One of the guys at my club has bought a load of scenery, MDF stuff, and
Okay, cool.
I'm going to sit quietly in a corner and get PVA glue all over myself.
Is there
build him his scenery for him?
Is there a company that does specific for like GW stuff that does MDF for that, or is just generic fantasy?
There are loads of MDF terrain people who do gothic sci-fi.
Okay, which is because they don't want to call it GW because then they get in trouble.
Yeah, you can't use the word Warhammer because that's trademarked.
Yeah.
So
and you can so they say
in terms of fantasy stuff.
Gothic.
In terms of fantasy stuff, it's kind of hard to find
specific, yeah. But
it's hard to find stuff that looks like the GW aesthetic for the fantasy stuff, and the fantasy terrain that you can buy for MDF is like very generic stuff. So it's like taverns and huts.
It's classic.
It's your classic
fantasy.
high fantasy sort of high low fantasy Tolkien-y kind of stuff. So if you guys are faithful listeners know any really AOS-y kind of vibe MDF stuff, let me know because I want to buy some.
Yeah, I do not have any MDF terrain at all. So yeah, that's something I'd like to try. I know Blackside Studio really like their stuff. I don't know if they do. I mean, they're starting with terrain now. They do their own miniature games, which one of them I really want to give it a try, called Lunar. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
It's so alternate history 1970. Basically, the Russian made it to the moon first, and now the American, the Russians are fighting on the moon. And so it's a 2x2 board. It's the moon, and you have little guys that are cosmonaut and astronaut. 3 to 5 models on the table, and they fight on the moon. And the way it works with because of low gravity and everything, it's more mass difference kind of thing. If you're heavier and you push, then you hit the guy, and you're heavier, the guy will move backwards. If he hits something, he can get damage to his suit and all these things. So like, it's really, really cool. It's if you look at of course, Guerrilla Miniature Game, he already has 3 or 4 Let's Play. And the guy he plays with is like always making reference because he's playing the American, and he's like, "Get off the moon, you commies!" and things like this, and it's freaking awesome. Like the Let's Play, like I was laughing the whole time, and it was just so super cool. I was like, this guy is awesome. It's like, yeah, eat my freedom shotgun, things like this. It's like, the guy is awesome. Like the guy he's playing with, Ash playing with, is just great, and it was like, oh my god, this is so funny. But the game itself is really sound, and they've made some really cool game, but they have a lot of terrain, so I don't know if they do. Like, they started making terrain which is pre-painted MDF, Yeah. But I don't know. So,
yeah, that's normally
studio.
very expensive.
I know they had some like modern buildings. Because I was looking at those when I was looking for MCD, Marvel Crisis Protocol, MCP. Sorry. So yeah, so they do a couple of games. So they do Lunar, they do Don't Look Back, which is another one that I really wanna. That it's a single player like 80s horror slasher movies where you play. Basically, you play like the cheerleader and the football player and the nerd and the like all like the typical 80s movie characters against a guy that is what's the expression? Legally distinct is not Jason. Is legally distinct. His name is Paul. But he still has the hockey mask and the weird mask and the and then there's a guy and he's called whatever, and he's got a big chainsaw, but it's not Chainsaw Massacre. No. Is and this guy's got a hockey mask, but he's just called another name, and but it looks super funny to play. So yeah, they like I said, they do terrain, and they do modern sci-fi post-apocalyptic fantasy, because they do stuff for Relic Blade. So yeah, they might have some stuff that are, you should look into it. They might have some stuff for that would work for 40k and things like this, and yeah, destroyed building and things like this. So yeah, they have a few, and it's all like pre-painted MDF. So I think that's pretty cool too. There's not a lot
pre-painted.
Yeah, there are not a lot of people that do this. So again,
is big and clever.
Yeah. So again, like, take a look at them. The Lunar, I really want to grab the starter set, because the starter set comes with all the cards for the equipment, all the cards for the characters, and their their equipment and stuff like that you can put on it. Comes with miniatures with you can build the way you want them. It doesn't really matter, because as you play the campaign, they'll get more and more equipment, which you cannot really represent on the thing, but it's still something that you can, like, if you decide to put the guy with the flag in his hand, you put the guy with the flag in his hand, and things like this. So, and they're resin minis, so, and they look pretty good. Like, they don't look too bad for resin minis, but yeah. So those are the two games, like that and Don't Look Back. Don't Look Back is funny because they have all the extension of the games come in VHS box. Like, they look like VHS tape.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's like, I'm like, that's a nice freaking touch. And I was like, man, like they started making terrain, and I knew them for terrain, and then all of a sudden they started making actual games, and they are the one carrying the minis for Sludge. So they're carrying the minis for that as well, if people do Sludge. So yeah, again, like, was really surprised, but when I saw Lunar, I was like, Lunar at first, I was like, what kind of game that could be, like. And when they're playing, I mean, and I watched their playthrough, and they have, I think they did like already 3 of them, something like that, on his YouTube, and it looks freaking awesome. So It's definitely something I'd like to try. And don't look back again. Like if you like horror movies, slasher movies, for the good old slasher movie where, like, you have the girl from The Ring, you have Jason, you have, I mean, yeah, it's like all kinds of different, and they act the same. Like the girl from The Ring will, like, skip towards the people, like. The other one is, the faster they run, it's always a step ahead. So when he pops out, he always pops out in front of them. It's like, it's like no matter how fast you run, it's still gonna be right, just right, one step ahead of you, and things like this. So it's very thematic, that's for sure. And I think they, like I said, the minis look cool, and the whole premise of the game is just funny, because you can never kill those guys. Like the baddies, you can never kill them. Yeah. They're just you will kill them, they'll disappear, then reappear somewhere else and keep going until you find the object that is supposed to be blah blah blah, and then you can get rid of them. Or sometimes it's just get out. It's like literally there was one where they're like, you're trapped in a mansion, you need to get the hell out. You have 8 turns. In 8 turns, if you're not out, or if you're killed, then you lose. But you have 8 turns to just get out and try to get to help, or one, you need to reach the road, or it's like it's really well made. So yeah, I'm not a big slasher movie fan, so not, but it still looks really cool, and I still would like to play it. Well, I am done. Well, kind of, not really, but almost.
Did notice there that you were buying for time while you finished your model.
No, it's still not done. I'm far from being done, but it's not bad. I still need details on her. She looks okay. I need to redo her skin. It's one layer is never enough, but they look good so far. Still about an hour probably to finish them off, but yeah. Yay! And I can see them all on my camera, so that's pretty cool. Yay! There you go. Painted those guys today. Yep. Like I said, probably a couple more sessions before I can finish them. And that would be awesome. Alright, well. Take a look at Blackside Studios. Again, I think they're US though, aren't they? Don't you have... There is a company I know in... Well, I think they used to be in Ukraine, so that might not be good now.
Yeah, they're kind of busy over there at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think they're making terrains. Well, yeah. Yeah, there was a company that was making... Or Game Mats. Game EU? Game Mats EU? Where they...
Game.eu.
Are they? No, they're from Poland, I think.
Yeah.
They might be from Poland. But anyways, so yeah, there's a couple of companies like this that... but I know there was one that was making MDF also, I think pre-painted, but I'm not sure. But yeah. Blackside Studio, awesome. Like I said, their games... Yeah, Don't Look Back, Lunar, Sludge. Violent Dark is another one that I want to see. Regime Rumble, that one I don't know, but the Don't Look Back, right now I think they have 4 or 5 extension. The expansions, Curse Crates, the expansion, here we go. Don't Look Back, Attack of the Greys, Final Girls, Death on the Line, Dark Hearts, Sideshow Slaughter, which is a literally, the Curse of Oak Hill, Moma Luna Pizza, the Gourd Reaper. That's weird. So yeah, they have a few. And yeah, it's yeah, again, pretty cool. I think they're really cool. I don't think the core box is still available. Oh yeah, it is. 6-hero mini, 1 killer mini with tons of weapons and head options. Core character and killer reference card. And they come with everything, like the dice and everything, and so you don't even have to worry. And they usually play on small boards too. Lunar plays on like I said, 2x2, which is super small. And you don't need that much terrain for the moon. Like, yeah, it's so no, they have, like I said, they have good choices, and I think that they can really, they're gonna keep making those, and they're making some really good games. Anyways, I'm rambling. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for painting minis. Thank you for listening to us, especially me blabbering. And yeah, we'll see everybody, well, in 2 weeks.
Soon.
In 2 weeks, yeah. Let's see what we'll do in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, my board will be resined. I'll try to do that and have my paint pile done, so that I can start planning what I want to take on my trip. Yay, for hobbying on the go, like we talked about on episode, I don't know, 3, I think, way back. So
something like that.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.